7 heroes died in a single battle, and the system announced every one of them like a push notification. Now the last man standing, the weakest unit in the game, is squaring up against a black dragon the size of a fortress. A monster so busted the game itself keeps spamming the same message. This monster is resistant to physical attacks. His party is dwindling. His own health bar is draining in real time because he's bleeding out mid-fight. Retreat isn't an option. Backup isn't coming. And then the system says something new. Han 2 stars has gone berserk. Now he's flying across the battlefield, carving into a raid boss solo that entire 5-star parties couldn't scratch. And the wildest part? The survivors watching aren't even surprised. Even in this situation, he's still amazing, as always. So who is this guy? To answer that, we have to go back to the beginning. 11 strangers wake up in the middle of a ruined city, and not a single one of them knows how they got there. There's a mercenary named Malmont, a carpenter, a crying street vendor, a redhead named Jenna who lived in the woods, and a quiet farmer who introduces himself as Islet Han. The only thing connecting them? They're all from a land called Tonia. And before they can even finish comparing notes, a tiny goth Tinkerbell floats down from the sky and tells them to get ready to fight. Her name is Isel. She manages this place, and her customer service skills are lacking, to say the least. Malmont, professional mercenary, 2 stars, the strongest person present, decides he's going to teach this little pest some manners. He draws his sword, oozing main character energy. Before he even swings, his head is parted from his shoulders. The system message that pops up lists his cause of death as suicide due to stress. That's right. This world's system files murder under muck around and find out. Isel just shrugs. Self-defense, obviously. Message received. Everyone freaks out immediately. Then the real nightmare begins. A gate called the Crack of Space and Time rips open, and the goth Tinkerbell starts reading names off a list like a teacher taking attendance for a field trip to hell. Go through immediately, she says, unless you want to end up like that guy. That's when the real hero of the story speaks up. Han tells her to wait a minute. Precious 2-star hero just died. The rest of them are 1 stars without so much as basic weapons. You don't want to send a suicide squad into the tower, right? The goth Tinkerbell actually pauses, then takes it up with the man upstairs, typing away like she's talking to Jarvis. The others start to catch on that this quiet farmer might know more than he's letting on. But before they can bombard him with questions, he's already moving. Grab weapons now before the battle starts. They're still gearing up when the first death notification appears. Then another. One by one, death messages start scrolling. All 5 1-star heroes from the group ahead, annihilated on the first floor. The goth Tinkerbell flips out and screams, "Useless bastards!" Because to her, these weren't people. They were disposable units in a game. And now it's their turn. The old man tries telling the fairy his arthritis is acting up. Jenna drags him away before he becomes the next casualty of goth Tinkerbell customer service. The other 2 teammates are busy complaining that they've never used a weapon in their lives. Thank God there's one competent member in this party. They step through the portal, old man in tow. They look around in amazement. A temple? The party lands on floor 1. A bright light flares, and text appears with it. The gate is opening. Get ready. They get teleported into a field and come face to face with a pack of level 3 goblins, moving information on the battlefield like they've done this 1,000 times. Because they have. This is their floor. And before anyone can process what's happening, the carpenter, the street vendor, and the old man are already gone. Not dead. Running. All 3 of them sprinting in the opposite direction, pure animal panic, and the system punishes them for it. A state of fear. All stats reduced by 30%. This world doesn't just let you be a coward, it debuffs you for trying. They hit the invisible barrier at full speed. It does not move. They bounce off, start bashing on it with both fists, demanding to be let out. And then one of them, a grown man who was handed a weapon 5 minutes ago, starts yelling that he needs to shit. Right now. Urgently. Priorities. Han watches all of this and mutters, quietly, to nobody in particular, "How pathetic." The redhead hasn't moved. Jenna looks out at the goblin formation and asks the only useful question anyone's asked all day. Can we get out if we kill those goblins? Han takes stock. Fast. No panic, no frozen staring. He asks if she can use that bow. Her father was a hunter. That's enough. She stays back and shoots. He takes melee. The goblins let out a battle cry and charge. Our hero just stands there, calmly watching them close the distance, with one thought running through his head. This is my first time ever holding a sword and shield. My name is Islet Han. My real name is Han Seojin. Seems I've come into a darn game that is all about luck. Han Seo-jin is not from Tonia. Han Seo-jin is a regular Korean guy from Seoul who, until yesterday, was living a completely ordinary life. And to explain how he ended up fighting a horde of goblins with a baddie by his side, we need to rewind. There's a mobile game called Pick Me Up, made by a company called Mobius. The goal is simple: get your heroes to the 100th floor of the tower. You summon heroes, you build materials to fortify them, you use strategy and tactics to climb. Standard gacha fare. Heroes range from 1 star to 7 stars, and if you've ever touched a gacha game in your life, you already know the price tag. The good ones don't come cheap. The game just hit 1 million downloads, and to celebrate, Mobius launches a special event. 300 gems daily just for logging in. A free high-rank hero summon card guaranteeing a 3-star or higher. And the big one, the Transcendental Advent Dungeon, opening for the first time. Han sees the banner and his exact reaction is, a shitty inflated game finally got a proper event. This man has bought thousands of gacha pulls and never once cracked above a 5-star. And this new dungeon has a low drop rate on the Book of Reversal, the item that can make a 7-star. As far as he's concerned, there's no reason not to join. But unlike other gacha games, Pick Me Up has hardcore rules. Even the heroes you pour your whole heart into, if they die once, they can never be revived. Missed monetization opportunity, if you ask me. He gets forced into the game. Can't even pick his own name. Straight into the tutorial. He wakes up in a ruined city as Islet Han, a 1-star hero. The worst possible unit. The kind of card players use as upgrade fodder without a second thought. Han didn't just get a bad pull. Han became the bad pull. The tutorial doesn't wait for him to process. Storybook narration rolls. Tonia, a peaceful land, an unknown enemy invading. Climb the tower, master. And suddenly Han is standing in a burning village with a sword in his hand and a quest floating in his face. Kill the goblins. His review of the writing. It's not realistic at all. Sir, you are in it. The system announces combat will proceed automatically, and Han's body starts moving on its own. A goblin lunges out of the smoke. His arm swings without asking permission, steel clashing against steel as he barely blocks it. He shoves the goblin's blade away with strength beyond his level, raises his sword, and brings it down. Stage clear. Level up. And Han is standing over the corpse, shaking. Because there's one thing the tutorial didn't prepare him for. My brain couldn't follow the feeling of killing another organism. This isn't tapping a screen anymore. The system's response to his first kill trauma? A gift. The first summon is free. He pulls. Golden light. Super. Rare. Every gacha gamer's favorite words. Shay Lathistry. For stars. Knight. Combat logic, intermediate swordsmanship, knight's determination. The man with certified horrible luck just hit a 4-star on a freebie. And she's standing in front of him, talking. Did you summon me? Who are you? And mid-introduction, the truly horrible thought lands. Then did I get summoned like that too? Every hero he ever pulled. Every card he ever fed into another card. Next stage, and with Shay on the field, battle is a generous word. She hits the goblins like a natural disaster. One cut down before it finishes its battle cry. The next dismantled mid-swing, pausing only to critique Han's form. Are you a newbie? Your form is bad. It's my first time. Stage clear. MVP Shay. 0 complaints. For one beautiful moment, this nightmare almost looks manageable. Then the system speaks again. A way to enhance heroes. Synthesis. The doors have opened. And Han goes white. His exact words. I'm F-ed. Because every gacha player knows what synthesis is. 2 heroes. One gets stronger. One gets consumed. He's done it himself hundreds of times, dragging 1-star fodder into stronger units without blinking, because they were just cards. Isel shows up to hurry him along, and Han breaks her brain by calling her by name before she introduces herself. How do you know my name? What are you? He's a pick-me-up user. He's Han Seo-jin from Seoul, and he'd like to be sent home while he's still being nice. She checks her records in a panic. He doesn't match the picture, and asks the question of the day. Are you from Earth? Of course I am. Should I be from Mars? But the tutorial demands a synthesis. He refuses. If I go in, I'll die. He gets the most horrifying reassurance. You won't. You'll get synthesized. That's the same thing. She shoves him into the synthesis room anyway. Customer service at its finest. Ladies and gentlemen. Han and Shay in the circle together. And Han's brain runs the only math that matters. I'm a 1-star. She's a 4-star. A normal player would have zero reason to kill off Shay and leave me. So this is how I die. The light swallows them both. And when it clears, Shay has become light and is disappearing. He's screaming at her. Why are you disappearing? You're a 4-star and I'm a 1-star. And Shay, dissolving into light, calm, smiling gently, gives him her last words. I wasn't chosen. That's all. I'll leave it to you. Gone. A 4-star knight's entire existence, converted into stat gains for the worst unit in the game. Back to the present, that took a while but we made it. One of the old men dies on the spot, and the rest of the oldies are being actively hunted. A goblin swings. Han's shield comes up on pure gamer instinct, and he answers with a bone-crunching shield blow. All the while, his brain is chewing on why he survived the synthesis. You touch and drag the hero you want to sacrifice. Either the master made a mistake in dragging, or he's playing without thinking things through. I was lucky, and Shay died because the master was stupid. Han gets so busy questioning his existence that a hammer slams into him from behind. He spins and smashes his shield into the goblin's face. A level 999 bugged monster looked at him through the screen and laughed. That thing must have dragged me here. You messed with the wrong person. The fight ends with Han arched over beside the goblin he just killed, his arm on the ground next to it, his sword beside that. Our favorite redhead rushes over, worried about the arm. I'll be fine once we go back, he says. See, there's almost no player control over combat in this game. The heroes do most of the fighting automatically. But there's one caveat. You can observe this world like a god. Are you having fun? He asks, gazing up at the all-watching eye. I was also a player who enjoyed pick-me-up, item crafting, tactics and strategy, hero ascension with hidden features. Even if it's a shit-doomed game, don't quit. Watch me survive until the end. Stage clear. Reward, 2,000 gold, steel X2, copper X1, leather X1. MVP, our boy. RIP to our fallen heroes. So Han makes a decision. I decided to accept it. Whining is for children. There are 2 ways for a hero to die here, in battle or compounded. It's meaningless to be a 1-star hero in pick-me-up. 1-stars are disposable and the lowest quality ones too. So the training montage begins. Alone. In the rain. Running, punching, swinging, collapsing, getting back up. I have to survive, take revenge, and return. I'll die if I don't adjust. I will be eaten if I don't accept things as they are. That's how Jenna finds him, deep in his grind set, and she's been busy too. She thought about it all night. They can't get out. Her father was a hunter. Archery was her hobby. And her words, I won't be a burden to you. As she says it, she fires a headshot into the training dummy. Han runs the assessment that tells you exactly how his brain works. She killed a goblin on day 1, she moves on from deaths fast, she knows the goal. She's a diamond in the rough. All right, I'll help you. They shake on it, and the system immediately ruins the moment. Jenna feels goodwill towards Han. Intimacy bonus created. Next, he calls over the tiny goth Tinkerbell like he's a big-time tipper at a restaurant. Am I the only one who can see the stats window above your head? She freezes. Floating right there, visible to Han alone. I sell. Level 257. That's his cheat. Not strength, metavision. The power Zuckerberg wishes his glasses had. And he weaponizes it instantly. She won't answer questions, so he reads her reactions instead. Is time different here than on Earth? I'm not answering any questions. He smiles. So the time is different, huh? Thanks for the tip. The rules keep piling up, 100 floors to go home. Heroes are judged on mentality, skills, and physicality. And training doesn't raise stats, it unlocks skills. 3 days of grinding, and Han goes from skill-less loser to semi-skilled, with low-rank swordsmanship and low-rank shield techniques. Then the master logs in and the roster expands. Aaron, Toby, Yelsons. 3 new 1-stars. Exactly as terrified as everyone before them. One screaming about his waiting wife, one begging to be sent home because, real quote, I'm tired of eating only potatoes. Isel's response is physical violence. They fold instantly. She waves them off as they enter the gate. Have fun. Floor 2. Jenna, are you ready? Yes. The goblins have backup this time, level 4 prairie wolves. The 1-star cannon fodder are freaking out like the crew from last time. The horde comes charging in and Han steps forward without hesitation. He finishes the first wolf in one brutal lunge. Another comes. His shield's already there, his sword answering before it can recover. The wolf leaps back. He's not having that. He closes the distance and cuts it clean in half. He scans the battlefield for Jenna, and instead finds a goblin so full of arrows it's basically a hedgehog. Jenna, panting, "Stop, it's dead." Stage clear. Congratulations on completing the second floor. The trio, meanwhile, skip training to hunt for an exit that doesn't exist, while Han swings a wooden sword until his hands give out. "I won't stop. It's fine if it hurts. It's proof that I'm alive." Again, again, again. And the game notices. Skill awakened. Basic swordsmanship and basic shield techniques are combining. Han has acquired basic sword shield techniques. Level 3. Training time is over, and the Goth Tinkerbell is already herding the team toward the portal. The deadweights still haven't learnt their lesson and need another reminder from the fairy. They land on floor 3, and this time the monsters come better equipped. Proper gear, proper weapons. Doesn't matter. The dynamic duo charge in, and before you know it, it's all over while the other one-star bums watch from the back. The master isn't pleased with the freeloaders and sends them out to run laps of the dungeon. Stage clear. Stage clear. Han and Jenna keep trading MVP back and forth, wave after wave, until they're both running on fumes. But at least the day is done. And Han delivers his verdict on the trio. Those idiots who don't know when they're given opportunities. The bill comes due. Because the master sees everything, who fights in front, and who's dead weight. The system makes it official. Han has been favorited. Jenna has been favorited. 2 names on the protected list. 3 names not on it. The old man goes first. Dragged to the synthesis center, screaming that all he did was get dragged here for no reason. The response is ice. Even if you can't fight, things would have been different if you had just tried. The doors close. Banging. Screaming. Then, synthesis complete. Jenna has obtained the skill, Eagle's Eye. He isn't a person anymore. He's a software update. And every time Jenna draws her bow now, she's using a dead man's final contribution. She's shaking. Han doesn't sugarcoat a syllable. In this place, useless people are sacrificed. It'll be my turn next. Then, next Han and Toby. And Toby breaks. His mind snaps clean in half, and out comes the most heartbreaking laughter in the series. "Ha ha ha! Are you sending me back home? That's it, right? I'm going home." He walks toward his own death celebrating. Han could correct him. Han does not. Sure, you can delude yourself into believing that. Synthesis complete. Han has obtained the skill, Composure. He walks past the last one-star cannon fodder still breathing. "You got lucky." Han spells out the road ahead for Jenna with zero mercy. Higher floors, stronger monsters, stronger summoned humans. You'll either die to our foes or end up as a sacrifice. The next day, Aaron shows up and hits our boy with a full formal bow. "I'll be in your care. Did you eat something wrong? You said you'd save me if I stand on your side, right? That's why I'm making it clear here. Please take care of me. You won't die as long as you do what's required of you," Han says. "So don't worry." And then the apology comes pouring out. "I'm sorry. I was a fool. It was really cowardly of me to leave the fighting to you two. I'll change my ways." And so begins his education. Han hands him a spear and explains the doctrine: melee range sword, mid-range spear, long-range bow. The best combination 3 people with nothing can run. Lesson 1 is Han attacking him. No warning. "What are you doing? Get ready to fight." He flies at him. Aaron's shrieking, "Weren't you going to teach me?" And Han, mid-swing, delivers the syllabus. "I learned this by myself. You should be grateful you got someone to practice with. All I had was a scarecrow." Strike after strike raining down. Aaron stumbling backward, barely keeping his feet. He raises his sword with his eyes squeezed shut, and Han is on it instantly. "Closing your eyes in the middle of a fight?" A swift kick to the stomach. "You'd have died if I was a monster. Give the man a break. He's bent over spewing up his morning breakfast." Jenna objects, "It's only day 1, and Han answers with his entire philosophy. "I don't intend to carry burdens along. I'll throw away anyone who can't catch up." Then quieter. "Hey, do you have family?" A younger sister, waiting for him. And Han, flat and unguarded. "You're better off than me. I have no one." Later, Han buys the blacksmith for 500 gems, but something's been bugging him. Those suspiciously perfect tips the master keeps receiving. He confronts Isel. She can interfere with the system, which means she can use the internet. Web surfing is my hobby after all. And those tips are copied word for word from the most popular post on Pick Me Up's official strategy forum. Loki uploaded that. Isel detonates. "Why you know Loki? Sir Loki is a master among masters. The god of Pick Me Up. He'd be rank 1 if he had a 7-star hero. Why does she like him? Because he's someone who makes the impossible possible. And when Han tries to say something about him, she cuts him off to pity the little 1-star talking about a legend. So Han tells her, I am Loki. If you made it this far, drop a like and subscribe.